Hello and good afternoon.
Hey, we love you.
I'm honored and excited to be here with all of you today. My Stampin' Up! Story started about 12 years ago when I was invited to an all-day Stampin' Up! Event by a friend. And prior to that day, I had not done any kind of scrapbooking or paper crafting, so I was definitely the newbie in the room. I really had a great time, and I had an immediate connection with one of the demonstrators who was hosting the event. And so over the next couple of years, I continued to attend her classes and events, and she even helped me with a project that was near and dear to my heart. She helped me create a scrapbook with a collection of my mother's recipes, and I made one for each of my 8 siblings, and so it was a labor of love on her part as well, because she helped me so much. So one day we were working together, and she said kind of quietly, "You know, you really are buying a lot. You might want to sign up to be a demonstrator and enjoy the discount." Well, I did, and I'll be celebrating my 14th anniversary this November. Thank you. I'm excited to share the Follow Your Art suite with you today. My presentation is going to focus on why the suite of products was created, what the products are, and I'm going to offer some suggestions on how to use and promote the products in the suite. The Follow Your Art suite was designed to appeal directly to paper crafters and particularly to avid crafters. It's the perfect suite to share with any friend who loves to craft, even if they're not already using Stampin' Up! Products. As you're going to see in a moment, the suite was inspired by Stampin' Up! Products: blends, watercolor pencils, buttons, just to name a few. The designers intentionally struck a balance between Stampin' Up! Specific imagery and general crafting imagery to appeal to all crafters. I'd like to invite you to open up your catalog to pages 52 and 54 and follow along with me while I point out some of the features in the suite. And I'm sure you already know this, but the Follow Your Art suite is part of the product purchase premiere, and it's on page 3 in the brochure. I'm going to start with the stamp set. It starts with Art stamp set. Is great for lots of coloring techniques, and it's got some really fun little images of reinker and clips, and the sentiments are awfully sweet. The Follow Your Art Designer Series paper is a bright and happy mix of images and patterns, and the addition of eclectic patterns like this one, which I love, makes it very versatile. The arts and crafts dies include a die for every stamp image, plus a few additional dies, these detailed long dies. The washi tape is an assortment of 3 rolls. These 2 coordinate with the Designer Series paper, and this one, which I absolutely love, features the Stampin' Up! Logo. Yay, it's so cute, I know, I love it. The button embossing folder is perfect to create a background pattern. The embellishment kit has a brightly printed lid, and let's see if I can manage this. It includes stitched felt pieces in 4 colors, some linen thread, and This is so cute. An assortment of clips and these adorable little charms that say, "Made with love." Yeah, they're so sweet. Last but not least is the mini Stampin' Up! Shipping box. The Stampin' Up! Logo is printed on both sides, and here's a little tip. When you first assemble one of these, you're gonna say, "What the heck?" The logo is upside down, but this is actually the bottom, and it closes up just like our Stampin' Up! Shipping boxes. And the washi tape with the Stampin' Up! Logo will be the perfect way to seal these up. It's an easy assembly, and they're gonna make great poster team gifts, storage, or event decor. I can hardly wait to see what all of you talented ladies come up with. Now that you've had an overview of the suite, I'd like to share some project ideas to help you showcase this suite to your customers. As I mentioned earlier, the suite was designed with the avid crafter in mind. The first two cards I'm going to show you were designed for an avid crafter. This card incorporates the embossing folder, all of the button dies, the label die, a clip from the embellishment kit, and a linen bow. And I'm not sure if you can see it, but I sponged Whisper White Craft ink on the embossed area. And then I used the coordinating washi tape on the inside to decorate the inside layer. Thank you. I would classify this next card as a wow card. At least that's what I'm going to tell my customers it is. I used the ribbon edge die here on both sides. I incorporated the rectangle stitched die for the sentiment layer. This is the label die, and I wrapped some linen thread around it with one of those cute charms. And these are the snap die from the die set. I've got one more thing to add to it to finish it off. I colored the ribbon, spools of ribbon with blends, and I cheated ahead of time, and I already took the sticky off the back of these so I could get it on really quick. And there's my completed card. And I just did a little simple stamping on the inside. Both of these cards are appropriate for an avid crafter because they, can you see that? Yeah. Because they incorporate several techniques and they showcase many of the coordinating products in the suite. I would include these cards in a product-based class, which would include 4 cards and the embellishment kit box that is decorated with an assortment of die cuts and one of the cute little charms. I've put together a product class for this, and I've created a flyer, and it's out on the display board and along with my samples when I'm finished. Next, I'm going to quickly show you a couple of cards for a beginner and casual crafter. This card is a great example of simple stamping because it's nothing more than stamps, paper, and ink. The layers are simple, and there's some wiggle room with the stamping placement for a new stamper, and then just some simple stamping on the inside. Thank you. This next card is stepped up a little for the casual crafter. It incorporates the DSP, some of the felt pieces from the embellishment kit, And the label was fussy cut because generally a casual crafter might not have a die cutting machine. So I hand cut that. And then I just added a layer of DSP and a little stamping on the inside. Thank you. I would incorporate these cards in my monthly Stamp Camp class, which is a mix of beginner and casual crafters. So before I close, I'm going to share a couple of tips for your make and take. But hold on a second, there's something down here on the floor that I need to investigate. Oh my gosh, I think it might be my product purchase premier order. And I even have Mr. Brown here to help me open up the back end and see what's inside. Well, it's not my order, but it is one of the adorable little mini shipping boxes that I decorated. This belly band slides off easily. I incorporated the ribbon edge die, the blends and markers, and just about every stamped image that's in the stamp set is on this box. And I topped it off with some Wink of Stella. I don't know if you can see it shining a little bit. So I used the Stampin' Up! The washi tape to close it. And by the way, Stampin' Up! Recommends that you use an additional adhesive with the washi tape to make sure it stays closed, but I have taken this on and off about 100 times practicing, and it's held up very well. See how sticky it is? So what do we have? An assortment of the felt embellishments and some of the paper clips, an assortment of the die cuts, and there's even a die cut for a paper clip. It's so cute. And then what would stamping be without some candy? Thank you. Okay, now I'm really going to give you the make and take tips. So the card you're going to be making is designed for a casual crafter. You're going to color the stamped image with Stampin' Blends, and you're going to use the button stamp image to randomly create a background on the main card. Before I let you go to your make and take, I want to remind you to participate in the product purchase premiere, which includes the Follow Your Art suite. I hope you're as excited as I am about the Follow Your Art suite, and I can't wait to see what you create. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Mimi, thank you so much. You guys, that concludes